our first performer is Jared Kozub, who performs as Ice Locus. All right. Jared Kozub is from Winnipeg, in the center of Canada, where it's winter for 6 months a year, hence the name Ice Locus. He's played guitar for over 20 years, and for the past 4 years, he's been playing with VSTs and started making field recordings of nature trips he's gone on. During the pandemic, he started learning about modular synths after discovering that his Moog grandmother and subharmonicon are more fun when played together. In August 2020, he enrolled in a course with Sarah Bell Reed, dear friend of the show and also friend of mine, to study synthesis using VCV Rack. In December, he took the plunge into Eurorack to create a hybrid setup for routing the computer to his external synths. Since January this year, he started composing a sonic journey for his first album called Beyond the Loci that was released just this week. Or last month. Right, because we played it as the intro music to last show. Sorry. Released it on Bandcamp. He performed his first modular set in May on the Modular World Anniversary show. Some of you might recall that. He enjoys combining acoustic instruments and samples using granular synths and other effects like delay in his ambient music. This next point we're going to touch on when I talk with Jared live in just a few minutes. He's a design engineer who does metal 3D printing and has recently co-founded Zeta Transis Custom Instruments as a side project for making cool parts for electric guitars and modular synths. We'll talk about that in a minute. My friends, this is Ice Locus. Jared, see, I've been wanting to have you on the show longer form. You were on the anniversary show, which was great. I appreciate. However, the sets were short, and I've been really wanting to get you on and do this proper. So, welcome to the
Thanks
show,
for having me.
Ice Locus. What a great way to start the show, right?
Yeah, I call that piece Spherical Chill because I guess because I have my sphere there and then I have the Spherical Wavetable Navigator. So that's just sort of, I want a nice relaxing piece.
I get it. Yeah, that's great. I mean, sometimes I want to start the show with like a big boom and have everybody be like, yeah, boom. But other times it's like, no, let's just ease in. Yeah, perfect. So tell us about this setup, and you're using the wooden box from Sarah and Ryan, right?
Yeah, that's the Sputter from Gradient Instruments. So it's basically a cedar box, I think from like Arkansas. I don't know. And it has like a contact mic on the inside and like a rubber layer on the outside. And you can make little squeaking noises and stuff, and then, hook it up to basically anything that takes audio and you can do stuff to it. So in my case, I basically just went and I have that plugged into my audio interface, and then I'm running it through a bunch of delays and some black hole, like reverb, shimmery effect. So
right.
You put some delays on it, sounds really good.
Yeah. I mean, what a great improv. I love the structure of like a couple of elements that you can just kind of just visit on random,
Yeah, I know. Originally I was going to have a more energetic set, but then I was all set up to film, but then my uncle passed away that day and I was already set up to film it. And I was like, I don't really feel like, blasting the Moogs today. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make this super chill, super relaxing, and it'll be a good time just to get lost in the music.
Well, you messaged me about that and I'm like, man, if this is a time to like say, hey, I'm out, like fair enough. But like you pushed through and you made this for us. And I think it comes with this like it happened that day, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we get all the emotion and the stuff that was inside of you, and I'm sure still is inside of you, kind of packed into this. It's thank you so much for sharing that. That's a real gift to do that. I'm not sure I would have done that. So nice work, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically for my patch, I had 4 items that I wanted to sort of showcase that weren't really modular stuff. There's the sphere, the pot lid with the contact mic on it, and I had a spinning top. That was sort of cool. Sort of an Inception vibe going on there.
Yeah, really.
And then
cool.
I had the sputter, and then also what's the other thing? The Landscape FM stereo field, just to do some crazy feedback solo thing. But I didn't want to make it too over the top, but I just put it in there at the sort of the end for a nice sort of texture. And then for the modular stuff, I went with sort of a hybrid mix of I used 2 different synth apps from my iPad, patched that in through my my ES9 into my rack. And then for the hardware modular stuff, I took my Keystep Pro and I hooked it up to the Spherical Wavetable Navigator, and I basically made a fugue out of that, playing the same sequence of notes but at different speeds and in different directions at different octaves, sort of to come up with this cool sort of I don't know, just cool thing. And then I ran it all through a bunch of delay, the Chronoblob and also the Polymoon from Maris pedal. And the sort of dreamy pads in the background was the HydraSynth, looping that. And there was one other thing. I had the Zlob modular fixed filter bank distortion feedback thingy. That was my first time really using it in a performance.
Nice.
But when I had the iPad playing 2 outputs and one was going through that. So you could hear in one section, you sort of heard the sort of a low, around 100 hertz or so, like a sort of a low sound. And that was basically from me playing with the levels, because I had the envelope of that triggering the feedback distortion to kick in when I was only playing certain notes.
Oh, I see. God, it like looks so simple, but there's a lot here. I think also this is a good reminder for just everybody watching now or in the future that, like, yes, we are modular centric here, but we're about making music. And I mean, using everything you've got and any kind of hybrid system, acoustic instruments. It's like, you know, I believe in it, but this crowd, you know, this audience does too. You know, I love seeing it. And how did that top spin the whole time?
I got it off Amazon.
What kind of a top is that? It's like a magic top.
I don't know if you can read that. It says, what does that say? Loquatidus? I don't know. I got it off Amazon. But apparently it will spin for 8 minutes if it's on a nice flat surface.
Oh, I see. And that was a nice flat surface. Yeah.
Well, it was a pot lid. So
right.
Here's the thing. It won't make a sound on a nice flat surface because it just spins. There's not much friction.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it on the pot lid to let it sort of ride up and down. And as it rides up and down, there's some friction. So you get some vibrating. But all of those 4 instruments, the acoustic instruments that I had it all on a plexiglass sheet because I'm running out of space. I don't have a table. So I put it on this plexiglass sheet on a couple stools. And they each have their own contact mic. So anything you do on one affects the other 3. So I went, and whenever I played the high C note on the Sphere, it would go and the pot lid would resonate and it would cause the top to jump a bit, and that's where you would hear this sort of like rattle. But yeah, you play that, and then also the sputter would pick up the Sphere. So it was sort of cool because they're all connected to just through like vibration, like mechanically.
So Sarah Bell Reed, Ryan Gaston, how proud are you? I mean, just this is, you know, your mentors are here. You know, thanks you guys for inspiring this kind of stuff. Not that you couldn't have come up with it yourself, but I'm just saying a lot of this stuff and this mentality is just straight out of Sarah Bell Reed's mind.
Yeah, it's
brilliant.
She sort of enabled me to,
yeah.
Because I mean, I could do all this stuff, but I just, you know, I was like, well, why would I do that? But now I'm just like, forget about it. I'll just do it.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you do it? Yeah. I mean, seeing her set on the Modular World anniversary show, using that box with like the comb and the stuff, she was just like going off on that thing. Beautiful. What a creative mind. Tell us a little bit about this company that you started, because I saw a prototype knob months ago, which you made for Sign Mountain.
Yeah. So it's sort of a side project. Like my day job is I'm a mechanical engineer. I design stuff, but I do metal 3D printing. And Sign Mountain, David, he went and he sent me a message like, hey, you're into 3D printing, right? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I broke a knob on some module. And, you know, would it be possible for me to make him like a 3D print a knob with like some custom symbols on it? He wanted like a Mayan symbol for a mountain on these knobs. And I was like, well, I can see, do you have a logo? So he went and he sent me a logo. And then I went and I talked to my buddy in the marketing department. I was like, hey, you know, what do you think of this idea? So he's like, and my buddy,
how about we get fired from our jobs? How about we do that?
Yeah, pretty much. So we checked with, I checked with the marketing guy, and then we checked with the sales guy. Like, yeah, that'd be sort of a cool idea, you know, just to try it out. So we printed some of these knobs for Sign Mountain, and they turned out great. and we sent them there. So basically, we started up this little side project website called Zeta Transist Custom Instruments. And we've been wanting to do this since before the pandemic, but then everything closed down and we never had an opportunity. So yeah, now we have this website, and basically if you're interested, if you have any ideas or whatever, send us a message on the contact on the website there. And we're still figuring out the business model because, you know, we're printing stuff out of like metal, like titanium. So we're thinking out what the price structure should be and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's
cool.
Something on the side we're doing. A little bit nerdy, but it's cool.
Well, nerdy. I mean, you know, look at our audience. Come on, we are the nerdiest. All right, proudly, right? Oh, I love you, man. I'm really glad to have you on. All right.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. All right.
Awesome.
My friends, Locus from Canada. All right, off you go.
Take care.